We got our fully colonized Uncle Ben's whole grain brown rice, fully colonized. Looks good. I haven't yet looked at it. Might as well. I already tore this open. Let's go ahead and take a peek. I already washed my hands. Whoa, what is, there's like a film on there. Pretty sanitized. You know, I got some 70% ISO. So this mycelium looks healthy. It's fully colonized. There's not really any spots on here that aren't fully colonized. All right, and what I should have done, it was broken this up in the bag. And like I said, at this point, if your grain spawn is fully colonized, it should be immune to contamination. All right, let's try and separate this a little bit. Wow. I've never seen mycelium colonized like this. Looks like there's some bruising, some coloration right there. A bit of coloration right here too. Who knows? It does look healthy. It smells healthy too. That's the one big thing you want to do is make sure you're smelling. Now, if you look at the date on these, it's 11/23, and it is currently January like 12th, 2025. Oh dear, I think I know what's happening here. I think these were mushrooms that were growing, and this discoloredness isn't bruising, it's some sort of trichoderma. All right, so now I've thrown on gloves just because I'm breaking up this mycelium really fine. We want it really fine, that way it has more surface area in the shoebox to colonize.
Just to be safe.
All right, now it's time to add our bolt substrate. We got Midwest Grow Kits bolt substrate here. I got 6 of these bad boys. 30 pounds for like 85 bucks to my door. Boom. Your Manure 11 cubensis strains are gonna love this. This is like one of the most popular brands, so let's give it a try. Let's check the field capacity of this Midwest Grow Kit substrate. Grab a handful, squeeze this. I'm squeezing it pretty hard. Not my hardest, but a lot of water came out of there. Out of 1 to 10, I squeezed that probably like a 7.5, 8. And a lot of water came out of there. We'll do it one more time. I mean, you can see the dripping. It's not terrible, but I mean, it's pretty wet. The YouTube videos I see people testing the field capacity of their substrate, it looks a little bit less wet than that. This seemed pretty wet. All right, I'm gonna put my camera back up here and throw in some of this substrate. Now we're going to add our substrate. Now I'm not sure how much to add. Just kind of eyeballing it here. There's 1 good handful, 2 good handfuls. Now let's mix this up and see what it looks like. Kind of have an idea based on the other YouTubers I've seen. Now it looks a little thin, maybe. The ratio I've heard was like 1 to 4. I also heard that you want to have this layer about 2 to 4 inches thick. I would say it's probably 2 inches right now. Let's go ahead and add 1 more handful. That'll be 3 handfuls. I'm hoping that's just like bruising. I don't know why. When I opened that bag, Uncle Ben's, it was just like flaky. Like, look at this. What is this? It's like a whole piece of a mushroom. I don't know. This is like a shot in the dark at this point. I don't know. This is interesting. All right, so that's looking about 2 inches. I don't know, man. 2 to 4 inches is recommended. Let's just do 4 handfuls. Boom. 4 handfuls. So 4 handfuls of Midwest Grow Kits. Select bulk substrate and casing mix. And 1 bag of Uncle Ben's Ready Rice whole grain brown. I've heard a lot of people say you have to use the whole grain brown. And I've also heard it doesn't need to be Uncle Ben's. It can be any brand as long as it's containing the same ingredient. A little bit of canola oil so the rice doesn't stick together, but that's not going to affect the mycelium growth or anything. So other brands are cheaper, they should work too. Really get in there. Now that I put all 4 handfuls in here and mixed it up real well. Alright, this looks good. Now let's start flattening this out, leveling it out, and get to cutting this garbage bag.
Look at the vermiculite on my hands. Weird, looks like paint. Gold. Painted on my hands gold.
Just chunks. Chunks. I've never seen that. I don't think this is going to work.
It does.
At all. But we'll see.
It did work. Go check out the next video.
And I will be posting this regardless. This is all good data here. Alright. Before we go ahead and cut this trash bag, we're going to add our casing layer. We're not going to do a true casing layer. I'm not going to do the cocoa coir and boil it and do all that and let it cool down. I don't got time for all that. Okay, it works. I've seen results just as fine when you just take a little bit of your bulk substrate and add it as a casing layer at this stage right now. And you want to just cover this. Just cover it. So you can't see any mycelium.
We just want to be covering all the rice, all the grain spawn.
And like I said, it's very hard to see with this shiny vermiculite in here. It's hard to see the difference between the vermiculite and the mycelium. It's challenging to see a little bit here what's what. And the whole point of this is just to cover the mycelium, or to cover the mycelium, to keep it moist. This is just a layer to retain moisture. So we don't need to be heavy with this layer. You don't want to choke them out. That's also why I'm not going to press down very hard right now. I'm just leveling this out. It's nice and level. I am just carefully making sure all the mycelium's covered and making sure it's level. Alright, next, cut the trash bag out. Alright, if I didn't mention, this is a 6-quart shoebox. Beautiful. Alright, there we go. Looking right. Alright, so now we set the lid on and we don't touch it for about 2 weeks. It's very simple, guys. All you gotta do is just let it do its thing, really. 6-quart shoebox. Uncle Ben's rice. Excited to see what happens. This cake's about 2.5, 3 inches. We don't grow mushrooms. We provide the proper environment, and mushrooms will do their thing. You know, it's really just that simple. Keep it simple, and they'll do the work for you. All right, guys, we got our lid on. It is ready to go sit in a dark place. About 72 to 76 degrees is a good colonization temperature. So we're going to let that sit for 2 weeks and not open it. Click subscribe to stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.